Is it love? Is it love? Baby, be mine.
Mokolo pali fiancé. Mokolo, my God is bigger. Mokolo pali fiancé. My God is bigger than any giant with faith. My name's Racheal.
And I'm NyNo, Racheal's husband.
NyNo's wife.
See, I always try to picture myself in the heavens, beside our Creator, and imagining how I'm feeling and how I'm enjoying that. And I'm looking at him like, okay, so that's your creation. So how do you feel? She's worshiping you like that.
And you, how do you feel when I sing?
No, because I can't explain it. I can't, words are not enough. But, you know, it's one of those things where you're just like, wow, fulfilling. It's always fulfilling.
Well, the thing is, I work from home as well. If I'm not at the office.
So who told you that you don't sing all the time at home?
I thought I did not sing all the time.
You thought. Well, she sings all the time. She sings in the bathroom, she sings when she's cooking, she sings when she's happy, she sings when she's not happy.
How we met. So, we met during the time when the Cherubs were doing their first album. There's, you know, that album that has Sweetie La? Yes. So yeah, I was called by the guys, say, okay, so we need you to feature on a song. So I came over to Lusaka, spent a couple of days in Lusaka, and when it was my turn to go and record, I went, and yeah, we're basically working just, and fast forward.
We're here.
Yeah, he proposed on my, was that my 18th birthday?
Was it?
19?
19th.
19.
Left school.
Yes, I think I was turning 19. That's when he proposed, but we had started out as friends. I think we were friends for almost like a year. Yeah, I was actually a tomboy, so yeah, things to do with such things, I would actually laugh at guys, eh? So he actually did, I didn't even know how to say when somebody, how did I respond? How did I say?
Okay, so here's the story. Like she said, so it was a period we were doing a project for the Cherubs. So the Cherubs were already in Lusaka recording their debut album. And that was 2004? 2004, yes. So I had no idea that they were going to have a female feature or features per se. And I was actually taking over from a producer that had already started. Then I think that started with Mainza Chipenzi. So when I took over the production, we were working and the guys were really interesting. Yeah. Fast forward, preparing for my session. In the morning, I was in town trying to buy some snacks for the group and everybody else. One of the guys came through and said, "Oh, hi, NyNo. Oh, yeah, I'm heading to the studio. What are you doing in town?" So, and she was there with him. And I was like, "Oh, no, I was just getting this lady because she's supposed to feature. This is Racheal." And I was like, "Oh, okay, pleased to meet you, Racheal. We'll see you at the studio." So, went to the studio. And yeah, we were in the studio. And she sang. Well, she sang. You know, there was a funny setup where the setup of the studio was, the control room was the booth. So I was in front with the computers and everything, and the microphone was behind me. So I had no idea, I'd never heard her, I'd never heard such singing before. And she stood there and sang, and my body just went numb. And I was like,
Really?
wow. I never told you that?
No.
Oh, okay. I was quiet. If you notice, I was quiet.
Well, you know what? When I saw that, I was like, hey, this guy is like...
It's quiet.
Like he's a snow, but I actually thought he was a snow. Like,
can we do another take? I was like, I don't know, but whatever you... right now, I am lost. But then, yeah. So we became friends from that period, from the recording. Years after recording, I think it was a year or two.
Yeah, we got it for 7 years. And in the 7th year, we tied the knot.
Yeah.
Okay, so being a tomboy then, I hang out with a lot of guys. Even now I have very few female friends. So I always had more male friends around me than guys. And so first impression was like, oh, he's one of those guys. Yeah, he's cool, but yeah, this is probably gonna turn up. I don't know if he's gonna be my friend, because it was very chilled. Like he explained him, so like I didn't know what was going on with him because it was non-expressive, you know. So he's trying to deal with stuff. He's not even expressing. It's like he likes it. So I didn't really know what to make of his behavior. But what drew me to him was how he responded to his family, his mother. At that time, no matter what was happening, if there was something concerning home, if you're working, you work immediately. He's done. He will need to find ways of trying to find out what's going on with home, and I think that was a part of me that really just felt like, wow, I would love someone to care about me that much. And my background is very, very interesting. I come from a very, very big family. And I have one particular brother who was very protective of me, Kedrick. He mentored me in terms of, just growing up. He was very protective of me. But he didn't show me that kind of love in that way. Like, you know, he's from the old school, so even when he wants to say I love you, won't say it outrightly. You just see, you know, that I had experiences where I would be grounded. I don't know how many times I've been grounded in my life. He won't even tell you why he's grounding you. He just said, you're grounded. What did I do? Oh, I told you to come at 6. Okay, there's no pardoning, there's nothing. So that was the background I came from. I was raised by disciplinarians. So that side of him was like, oh wow, such things exist. And it passed. But so when he proposed to me, I didn't even know how to respond. I said thank you. And said I like. I said thank you. He made his proposal. I said thank you.
That was very interesting.
Yeah, and then but then from then on my sisters, if they're watching, they laughed at me like, how do you say thank you when a guy says they like you? It was my first boyfriend, and yeah, years after, that's when I realized I made a prayer to God. That, Lord, I don't want to go through, you know, the drama of dating this guy, dating that guy. Let my first boyfriend, casually I made that prayer, let my first boyfriend be my husband. Here we are. Yeah, I've not been the most faithful. I've made my own mistakes, but God is so good. And I was so shocked that he actually honored what I asked for. And yeah.
It's funny that when we're talking about engagements, our African setup is never a surprise. It's never a surprise because there's no way I can engage her without me actually reaching out to her parents. So yes, we followed the procedure because we are Africans. So I had to pay and eventually pay in full before I could actually say this. But somehow I found a way of making it a surprise. It was a surprise for her because a lot of things were happening during that period. So she at that particular time, I think she was one of the artists that were picked in the tour in Europe. So she represented Zambia in the tour
Daughters of Africa.
The Daughters of Africa. And so they had like 2-3 months of rehearsal in Kenya. So they came back for just, I think, a week or so.
No, we had 6 weeks. Was it 6 weeks or 2 months of preparation in Kenya? And we had 3 days in Zambia to just say goodbye to our family and loved ones, and then head for like a 5-month tour, something like that.
5 to 6 months tour. So during that period, I said this would be a good time to just propose, like, and do my surprise. I had friends, of course, family, who helped that to come into reality, and it was a surprise.
Yeah, it was. Well, it wasn't a surprise to you. Of course, the traditional aspect had started. Who was charged? Yeah, I'm Lungu actually. So they charge according to the value of cattle on the market. So I don't know how many you paid anyway, but
it was worth it.
So coming back, for me it was just like I remember getting upset with you. It was one day I had with him after being gone for a long time. His dude was on the phone constantly. I'm like, what kind of date is this where you're like, okay, we should have just stayed apart and chat on the phone, since we're together and you're constantly on the phone. I remember getting upset that night, not knowing. I remember he said, no, I want you to dress like this, I want you to... I remember it all came together because at that time I was at my brother's house, so my sister-in-law Sarah, I was like, why don't you know? Well, you still want to do the tomboy thing today? No, I think, dress like this. So she tells me, no, I think you need to wear this dress today. I'm like, this is strange. You're never in my space to tell me what to wear. Okay, so like, okay, all right, let me wear what you want, what you've advised me to wear. So I was in a dress that day. And well, that time I think La Gondola was one of my favorite restaurants. Yeah, at Manda Hill. So I loved. She
still loves. No, but that time we did.
Was it
paper steak?
Yeah. So is it La Gondola or Ocean Basket? One of the two. La
Gondola.
La Gondola, yes. So yeah, we went there, and in that mode of being upset, I see people moving, and I'm like, what's going on? And
So the phone was a distraction because. People wanted to know when was the right time for them to come in. So, and because I had a number of people, family members from our side, her friends, my friends. So they were all calling me, and I couldn't hide the phone. So I would excuse myself, excuse myself.
Yeah, so I'm in that mode. I'm really like trying to contain myself before I don't want to make a scene here. So I'm looking this way. I see people walking in. I'm like, surprise! I'm looking behind this guy is on his knees. Like, okay. So
that was a surprise.
That's how it went. We used to play in jewelry stores.
Yes,
I think that's
yes. Now I remember. So deliberately, I would take her to just go and see what she likes, and in the process, I would obviously have a conversation before us going there with the owners of whoever is selling jewelry. So they would get all the details for me. Oh no, she came to try this, or we tried this, or we tried that. So yeah, I think I played her on that. So,
yeah, and he kept on taking me to this. What was that? Bobby James? We kept on going to the same store. I'm like, what's with this store? I mean, at that time I think Bobby James
were really good then.
Yeah.
The only ones.
Yeah, I think they were the only ones that we had tried other places, but you kept on taking me to Bobby James then. Yeah, so. How easy was it? Divine touch came through Penjani Luni. How did it happen? Was it you?
So,
because all these things were happening while I was away. So they asked for my sizes. In fact, she asked me what designs I liked. So I sent them of what designs. So it was a combination. I was like, I love the top part of his dress and I love the bottom part of his dress. I'm like, but don't worry, we'll make it work. So I sent her what I liked and my sizes. By the time I was like coming, that was like July. We got married in October. My dress was in by July, August. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So the beauty about how our wedding was was that great, in my opinion, was we already planned what we wanted. We already set whatever stuff that we wanted to have and do that day. So we planned our wedding a year before actually announcing.
Yeah.
So we had a system where we could save some money, and yeah.
We actually opened a joint account.
Joint account when we were dating.
Yeah, we opened the joint account. The minute it got serious and he said, I want to make it official with your parents and with family and things like that. So at that point we knew, okay, now we're not playing. If we both resolved within ourselves that we gotta settle down. So we decided to open a joint account, and what we'll do is whatever we would earn, would have our own personal accounts, but we always had a way of putting something in there like every month. And so we had this year with this wedding planner thing that we would, like, every time we would work to something towards, you know, something, maybe like a month, would give ourselves a target that we're gonna do this, and we'll just tick it off. So by the time it was reaching the year, that was 2010? Yes, 2010, we got married in 2010, yes. So we had very few things that were left that would like give people headaches. Like I see right now, even when you sit in a committee, I'm like, sometimes I ask myself, what were you guys?
Well, actually, to be honest, there was nothing. It was so offensive
You didn't have to take offense because
to a grouping. No, it wasn't me, but in the way I responded. So this time around, when after the cancelling at church and everybody was like excited, so a group of elders were like, oh, so young man, come sit you down. So they sat me down, and I was like, oh, so what do you need? So I said, yeah, I want to get married. Yeah, I mean, no, obviously, is everything in place? So where are you staying after this and everything? So I was like, oh yeah, got it figured out. Got this. So do you need anything from? I was like, to be honest with you. So they were shocked, like, how? You know, and but they went ahead anyway because
our church takes it further, because they have to check where you're gonna be living if you already have sorted it out, and that was so you didn't have to take offense, and that was because we've had situations where someone says, oh no, we're gonna be living here, and then when the time of the wedding comes, it's a different story. So anyway, yeah, so that was about our wedding and the planning and coming together. But the wedding itself was really, really nice. I remember we had Miss Brenda Montemba, may her soul rest in peace. She's the one that handled our security for the day. So she was in charge. But what was surprising was that even though security was so tight, our numbers tripled. It wasn't even something that was offending to us. It was just a big party. We had, I can't even mention which artist was not present. We had a lot of people come through. Mr. Mwale handled the music part. My lineup was just 2 couples. We both agreed to say, you know what, this is just headaches. Like with my lineup, that was us. That you shouldn't feel like that. That was just us. So we're like, okay, we're gonna have 2 couples. And they said, so what are we dancing at? Hey, you decided to be on the lineup. You choose what to dance. Me, I'm just showing up for rehearsal. They ran us through a day before, and on the actual day, I'm just walking down the aisle. What you're going to do is your business. So that was according to me. That's what I knew. So when we said, okay, what about the knife boy? How are we going to cut the cake? So we had agreed to say, there's no knife boy. What we intend to have is a party. So we're going to have a lot of music, and maybe that may just lead into time. So now let's wait for the knife boy to come. Want that party vibe in the event. So I didn't know. I'm seated there. He keeps doing this to my things like, why would you just like doing things I feel like, okay, it's inappropriate to do that. So the knife, so now we're now getting ready to cut the cake. It's like, baby, I gotta go. Wait, I gotta use the bathroom. I'm like, dude, you've been sitting the whole time. No. So how are we gonna cut the cake? No, I just gotta go. And I'm there, I'm trying to hold myself. I see a guy with a knife now coming. Guys, he's the one who's coming to. He was a knife boy.
Yeah.
So he went.
So yeah, she's mentioned about the setup of how the wedding turned out. I've seen this even now, like for a lot of young people, they are glorifying the wedding and not the marriage. So the wedding is like, oh, have you seen how she did her wedding? I want to do that. Not necessarily doing something for their own and then from their heart, something that we'll remember. So we thought, for us, we just wanted to do something that's, you know, it was just going to be us. For instance, we didn't even have a kitchen. We didn't want to have a kitchen party, but the women at church, mothers at church, had organized something very special, very nice actually.
Yeah, we called it the Moments with Racheal. Yes, so
But they did it like the traditional way of doing everything, and so she asked me to say, "Oh, so are you going to come and bring the flowers?"
Yeah, this dude refused to come.
Why?
He said,
"It's a kitchen party.
My mother and my sisters are there, they're representing me. What am I going to be doing there?"
So
they need to see you.
Yeah, at that particular time, probably that time she didn't understand it. Now she appreciates it. She appreciates those things even more, because even when we did our wedding, we wanted to do our wedding, something that we will remember 50, 100 years, and it will be as fresh as though you were having a wedding today. So that for us became like a moment, like you will see it, even if you're at home and just like it's your anniversary, you still remember how it all played out.
Yeah.
You know, so that was one of those things that we were doing. Of course, I was nervous. Do I remember that feeling? I was nervous, but my dad, Bishop Sakala, kind of made it simpler for me. You know, like this is your moment. This is you. That's your girl now. You know, and when her dad was just bringing her to me, it was just like, what? Wow, this is the moment.
I think I was
He was really nervous.
I think I was very nervous. You know, it's one of those things like, yeah, so it's gonna happen. Now it's finally happening. You know, my heart was racing. I think I had all kinds of things, even though, I mean, it was all happening within me, and probably if you watch the videos, you'll be like, you're very composed. If you only knew what was going on, the things that were racing through my mind and all, but, well, we thank God that it went down well, and yeah, here we are.
What song played? Do you remember the song?
So we had 3 major songs. We had
A song by DMK, what was that?
What was
Favor.
Favor, yes, Favor. So, and we danced to Park Stewart's song. Is it more than? I've forgotten the title. It's More Than Something, Park Stewart. I still have the song somewhere.
We did have this song playing, the one I waited for. Did it play anyway? No, it did
We've been
not.
singing that to some people now.
Oh, I thought it was some. Oh, okay. How long have we been married? We have been married 12 years and how many months? Well, almost 13 years.
13 years.
Our anniversary is
In October.
in October, so we'll be clocking 13 years this year.
3 beautiful children.
How many children do we
He's
have?
given me 2 boys and 1 princess.
Let us keep our love alive, being real with each other.
God has been.
So
the
yeah,
center.
God has been the center, and I think being real with each other has helped us come this far. So God first, indeed. We've come across people that have really tried everything, and it has not worked out. So it all comes down to the fact that in whatever we do, if God is really not there, it won't work out. So God is the main thing. But apart from that, from the human aspect, I think being real with each other has been very, very, very helpful. There's so many times we even find ourselves, like when in business meetings, we work together, we run businesses together. When you find us working, you would actually not know he's my husband, because when in his zone and he's making a mistake, I know. I'm going to tell him what is happening today. Same with him with me. He's been my technical manager for a very long time, and he's very tough. You're on stage and you do something funny. Shay, I even know it. The minute I walk off stage, it's like, you know, and things like that. So we are very real with each other and very open. Then there's also one other thing that has helped us not to like just pile up things, because one of the things that causes couples to go separate ways is where you don't communicate when stuff happen. You keep sweeping things under the carpet. Being able to communicate. If you're not happy about something, of course, find the appropriate time to address the issue, talk about it, and yeah, in a loving way. So sometimes we talk about, oh, but we talked about this. Is the environment right? You could be trying to address the issue before his friends. He'll feel demeaned. If he does that to me, I'll feel demeaned. So we'll address the issues in the right environment and see how we resolve issues. And it's not like he can get on my nerves sometimes. Like, yo, man, did you just say that? Did you just do that? But understanding also that there are things that I have to live with. There are things he has to live with, and he has to accept that. But that's not to say I cannot change. If there are things I can change, and we're constantly working on each other to get better for each other. Yeah.
I love how Pastor Haggai puts it, to say, no, she's a public figure. She's in people's faces. You're a public figure and you're not in people's faces. So you're both in the same offices but playing different roles. So there's never been a time when I felt like, oh no, because she's in people's faces and so now I'm going to handle that. No, because I know when I am in people's faces or people behind the scenes and doing my thing, I am me, and there's a place for her in my heart, and likewise there's a place for me, and I know it cannot be questioned. So when she is in her zone, she's in people's faces, she's in people's faces, she's doing her duties, and so I have to live with that. So it's like one of the things that she mentioned. So coming together meant me accepting that. So from inception, I accepted it. So those, yeah.
It's really just understanding his place in my life and him understanding my place in his life. He's a producer and sound engineer. He's an audio expert. So you have different types of jobs that he handles, we handle together. And I think what has helped us is being able to work together, understanding his job and understanding his ministry as well. Same applies to me. And we're very transparent with each other. There's nothing that I don't know concerning his banks, his email addresses. Trust me, even if he was sleeping here and say, no, he's overslept, we can't. And he's authorized me that when this person calls, please do this. I'll do it. There are times when you have people writing to you inappropriately, men, and I'll just hand him over the phone and say, can you please handle this one for me? And you even chat him up. They think they're chatting with Racheal. I remember there was one incident we had. This happened when I was in UK. I had just gone for a tour in UK. And this man was vibing me on social media. He wanted to send me, how much was that? Is it 5,000? Okay, no, let me make it 10. Or 20, is that okay? He was about to meet with me at the bank to give me the money. So he chatted him up, so I'm like, no, that is your case, handle that man. I'm sure that man has issues. So, because we in the conversation, we had like, oh no, stuff is not working out, my wife, this, oh, okay. So I told him, say, you know what, Mr. Kabeba, that is your ministry. That man is broken. Go and minister to him. So I remember, so that we are here, and I think, go to the bank. So when they're there now, they face us, so, hi, you've been chatting with the husband. The guy froze. But eventually he sat him down, but that's one of the things that we encounter. And I think what has helped as well is being transparent, like I mentioned earlier, being transparent with each other. If someone is acting inappropriately with me or sending things that I feel are not correct, if I'm gonna hide it from him, it'll be a bomb that will just be somewhere and it will explode. at some point. But if I make it known, even if it was one of his friends, I'll try and handle it to a certain extent because I care about their relationship. But if he oversteps the boundaries, I have no option but to make it known to him, to like, hey, this is what's going on, and I feel like you needed to know about it. Just in case he says something inappropriate, we will know how to handle it. Than make it look like, oh, so this has been going on and you've not told me about it because you felt like you were a hero, you were going to handle it and things like that. Yeah.
I think it's both sides. So I think it's this was a principle that we built from our relationship to say we'll always resolve our conflicts and will not allow the sun to set without resolving them. And that pattern has continued. Yes, there are some heated ones that you would try and say, okay, we'll resolve it overnight, but then somehow it will continue because the process is that long. So that has helped for us, and that principle has been there. We will not allow the sun to set without resolving an issue.
Sure, he has to mention all the time. He has to tell me he loves me every day. I tell him directly, dude, you didn't say it. And I always love to. Always love. I want him to be the first person to compliment me. When I'm looking good, he has to be the first one. So that, but I tell you, like, you didn't say it. That one told me. And why were you responding like that? You didn't say it. So, so I love to hear that he loves me every day, and I love to get compliments from him. He just gives me this fulfillment. Not that I don't know, but yeah, I don't know what category you would put me in, but I just love to hear that from him.
Sometimes her silence is enough.
He loves to be pampered. He loves to be pampered all the time.
Just being her and knowing that she's there. You know, sometimes I don't even need the words because words are just words. But her just being really meaning that she's here is enough for me.
In a few words, why a marriage is falling apart, especially amongst the young people. I think the foundations that young people are laying when deciding to get married is what is wrong. So it's all about the dress, all about the lineup, and what hair I'm gonna do. Just like trivial things is what we have amplified, and we are neglecting the things that really are the main thing when it comes to marriage. Things like, have I taken enough time to know the person that I want to tie the knot with? Because my friend got married last year, I've got to get married. Is the person I'm getting married to the right person? From our Christian circles, it is very, very important for one to even pray. Have you asked God about? Because it's a lifetime commitment. It's not, marriage is not one thing that you say, oh, so today I'm going to be in it, tomorrow I don't feel like it. If you say, I do, you are tying the knot. Your souls are being tied together. It's not something that you can just, move in and move out. Yeah. So I think that.
Yeah. So earlier when you asked us what has kept us, and in our answers, we started with God. So in our counseling, and this is very clear, one would ask, so we have different types of marriages, okay? You have the Hollywood setup of a marriage, you have the African setup of a marriage, and then you have God's setup of a marriage. So when you decide which marriage you want to have, you have your results. So for us, from inception, if the author of marriage is God, the question would be, have I consulted? Have I asked what he's saying about me having to have this marriage? Okay, I want to have this marriage. Have I involved him from inception? So most of the times, if you pay attention, even in the church, you find that the young people would even leave out God because they are found in a situation where they're falling in love and they're excited about it, and because of society influencing them in a certain way, the movies that we are watching, the books we're reading, so you think, this is it, and so you rush into it without actually getting to understand what it is.
And to add on, I think one other aspect is, I think from the things that I've also come across, being able to counsel certain people, and I feel like people are living in a bubble. So I meet NyNo. As much as NyNo is, from the .com generation, it does not take away the fact that he's still from Wapula. Mover is in him. No matter what you do, his roots will continue to speak, So I get there and I want to see this Telemundo type of marriage that I've watched. I want it to be our type of marriage. Forgetting that you are, for instance, we are African. No matter how much exposed we would be, we still live in a setup of Africa, and we're Africans amongst ourselves. He may be a certain type of person, but are all his relatives like that? Because there's more to marriage than just two people coming together. And believe me, the things that cause people to go apart or go separate ways sometimes are not necessarily things that they're struggling with as a couple, but the external factors.
Yeah.
He doesn't know how to treat my parents, he doesn't know how to treat my siblings. That becomes heated up. I'm giving in and I'm trying to accommodate your this other side of the family you don't know. So there's all these things where let's go back to the roots, go back to God. The doctrine was not written void of culture. When you read the Bible, you always see the culture of the Jews coming through, which simply tells you that God actually considers the way of life of people. So if you're not going to be considerate of the root of your partner, it will become a problem. So let's just go back to the basics. We are complicating issues by just trying to be something that we're not. Patience.
Yeah.
My name is Racheal Kabeba.
My name is Edwin NyNo Kabeba.
And this is how we met.
Is it complicated? Be my. Is it